Fourth lesson, let us familiarize with the higher Kriyas. Routine R2. A way to take a tremendous forward step for a good practice of Kriya Pranayam. Piercing the chakras. With this routine you become intensely aware of the reality of the chakras. The chakras are to be awakened and pierced by the prana guided by your awareness. Routine 2. Times prep. 1, 2, 3. Times mental chanting of Om in the chakras. Times Lahiri Mahasaya's Kriya Pranayam. Times first Omkar Kriya. Times prep. 4 times Sushumna Pranayam. Explanation. Start with prep. 1, 2 and 3. Mental chanting of Om in the chakras. After prep. 3. You are in a particular state of awareness in which it is easy to perceive the location of each chakra. Vibrate mentally Om, sounds like Unang, in the Muladhara chakra, then do the same with the second chakra and the same up to the fifth chakra, Vishuddha, and then also in the medulla. During this action, try to intuitively touch the internal nuclei of each chakra. Don't pay attention to the breath, breathe naturally. Then the descent starts. Om is chanted in the cervical chakra, then in the heart chakra, then in each chakra, down to Muladhara. Repeat this 2 more times. The correct vocal pronunciation for Om is like the Om in song but drawn out. It must not be pronounced like the Om in tom, e.g. ahem. In this technique, Om is a pure prolonged vowel sound pronounced like the alphabet letter O. The M is silent and the O sound is lengthened. You can also practice with mouth not completely closed, thus creating the nasal sound ng. When pronouncing Indian mantras, like Om Namo Bhagavate or Om Namah Shivaya, the consonant M in Om is heard. Some say the correct note of Om is B, C, before middle C, do. Some schools teach to chant Vam or Bam or Hrom at the place of Om. In particular Hrom, Vroom, is very effective. It fills you with euphoria. Times Lahiri Mahasaya's Kriya Pranayam. We have described this wonderful technique in chapter 6. You can practice it now with supreme sweetness for 12 to 24 times. The Kriya of Sri Mukherjee is fantastic. However, it is true that the original Kriya requires indeed that you mentally chant Om in the location of each chakra. After practicing for many months the Kriya of Sri Mukherjee, Routine 1 and 1 bis, it is more easy to practice Lahiri Mahasaya's Kriya Pranayam. I have explained in detail Sri Mukherjee's way of practicing the Kriya Pranayam. I wrote sincerely that to me it was a great discovery. I adore how it prepares you to the practice of the original Kriya Pranayam. In my opinion, Sri Mukherjee's instructions represent a didactic strategy that aims at making you realizing a correct practice of the original Kriya Pranayam. If you try to practice the original Kriya, without a long preparatory phase, breathing intensely, while mentally placing the Om mantra exactly in the seat of each chakra, very probably you will do some mistakes that, in time, will halt your progress. Unaware, you will do violence to the system of your nadis. You believe you have entered Sushumna, but, probably, you will not be there. You have only exerted a mental effort to enter a path which is momentarily barred. The door of Sushumna, instead of opening, remains firmly closed. The strategy of Sri Mukherjee is to make you gradually enter the Sushumna. Enter with sweetness. Following his method you will arrive slowly but safely. The awareness of the essence of chakras, and therefore their real location in the astral spine, will appear at the proper time. First Omkar Kriya. Moderately contract the muscles at the base of the spine. Inhale and at the same time rise the awareness along the spinal column. Interlaced hands are placed over the navel to create a mental pressure over the first 3 chakras. This pressure is perfected by adding the practice of Uddiyana Bandha. During the inhalation, lift the chin following the inner movement of the prana, mentally chant Om in each chakra. Or you can mentally chant the syllables of the Vasudeva mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om is chanted in the first chakra, Na in the second, Mo in the third, Bha in the fourth, Ga in the fifth, and Ba in Bindu. Hold your breath. After the just described inhalation, bend the head to the left, without turning your face to the left. Guide your awareness within the right hemisphere of the head. It is the part which in this moment remains aloft. Then, always holding your breath, bend your head to the right, intensifying the concentration on the left part of the left hemisphere. It is the part which in this moment remains aloft. Keep holding your head, lower the chin on the chest and practice Mahabandha. Mahabandha means practicing the three bandha together. The three bandhas are Mula Bandha, contract the muscles at the base of the spine; Udyana Bandha, draw internally the abdominal muscles by contracting them; Jalandhara Bandha, keep the chin on the chest. Perceive an intensification of the prana in the Danshan region. Raise your chin as much as possible and perceive light in the region from the Kutastha to the fontanelle. Now your chin is perfectly horizontal. Start a sweet, slow, tranquil exhalation. This exhalation injects the light in Sushumna through medulla. Let the light come down millimeter after millimeter towards the base of the spine. This light pierces each chakra. The mental chant of Te, Wa, Su, Di, Wa, Ya helps you to feel more clearly this piercing procedure. Enjoy this powerful, beautiful beyond comparison, Kriya Pranayam. Enjoy the movements of the head, the bandhas, the mental pressure of the prana upon each chakra. Repeat 24 to 36 times. Now you can close your routine with the beautiful prep. 4. If you have time, you can try the very subtle Sushumna Pranayam. Sushumna Pranayam. Sushumna Pranayam is the pranayam that happens inside the Sushumna and therefore in the state of breathlessness. We shall reach this state by a succession of short breaths between Muladhara and each chakra. Start with 3 deep breaths. Then focus the attention on the Muladhara. When it comes natural to inhale, inhale without forcing the breath and pause an instant in the second chakra. Try to have a good perception of this chakra. Exhale when it comes natural to exhale and focus again on Muladhara. Make a short pause. When it comes natural to inhale, inhale without forcing the breath and pause an instant in the third chakra. Try to have a good perception of this chakra. Exhale when it comes natural to exhale and focus again on the Muladhara. Repeat the procedure between the Muladhara and the fourth chakra, Muladhara and the fifth chakra, Muladhara and medulla, Muladhara and fifth chakra, Muladhara fourth chakra, Muladhara third chakra, Muladhara second chakra. These 9 calm breaths are one cycle. If at this point your breath has not drastically calmed down, you practice 1 or 2 cycles more. After 4 to 6 cycles, you will notice that the breath is almost disappeared, while the spine has become like a steel bar. I cannot guarantee that you will also succeed in listening to the internal sounds coming from the chakras, but you will certainly perceive a particular internal pressure in the head, which is an aspect of the Omkar dimension. Once completed 4 to 6 cycles, if you are not in the breathless state, forget the chakras and make the procedure more subtle. Feel Muladhara and a small piece of the spine, then Muladhara and another piece of the spine, then another. The mechanism is the same, but instead of reaching the perception of the whole spine in 5 steps, you reach it in a greater number of steps. You intuitively discover the power of conquering the spine millimeter after millimeter. What does it mean, conquering? It means to perceive, to be intensely conscious. It means that you do not breathe anymore and you are inside the Sushumna. One day your intuition will suggest to focus on the totality of your body and perceive there a fresh energy. Go ahead until you realize that your body is sustained by internal energy. Go ahead not only feeling the chakras but also the whole body. One day your breath will stop completely. It will be like a miracle. Our 2 final comment. First Kriya as taught by Sri Mukherjee. First Omkar Kriya Prep. 4. Guiding Kundalini, Sushumna Pranayam are 4 wonderful procedures to come very near to the breathless state. They are a real blessing. I emphasize this because if a Kriyaban desires to experience Thokar in its elementary form and practice it at the place of the first Omkar Kriya, or after it, he can of course do that, but he must be very careful, prudent, delicate. Otherwise the breathless state instead of coming near may move away. Study the elementary form of Thokar in the beginning of chapter 8.